Hello, everybody. This is the Xavier Ortega podcast, and we are here to do some fantasy booking. So, as we now know, Seth Rollins is now fully heel. Now, I hope they don't make him like a scary cat heel like they did in 2015. I was hoping that he makes him serious. Alongside with the AOP, he looks to be one of the most menacing heels on the Raw roster. But there's one more piece to the puzzle that's missing from all this, and that's Becky Lynch. WWE, do it better. Okay, so it's not confirmed right now at this time of this recording, but we're predicting or assuming it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens at TLC. No gimmick match, just a normal match. Because I don't think they have time to build for a normal match. The pay-per-view was like this Sunday. So, it's got Owens versus Rollins. Having like a good match. AOP gets involved. It costs Kevin Owens the match, and he gets to beat that. So, later on in the night, it's Becky and Charlotte versus Kairi and Asuka in a TLC tag team match. And it's like a great match. It's like a good freaking match. In the closing moments, Charlotte and Becky climbing up the ladder. Both of them on each side, climbing up the ladder. New champions coming. And then something interesting happens. AOP rush down, and they grab Charlotte's legs. They don't do any physical contact to her. They grab her by the legs. As she looks up, Becky forearms her off the ladder, and she walks away with the AOP. As Kairi and Asuka retain. She walks up the ramp with AOP, and there comes Seth to hug his fiancée. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the new heel couple on Raw. So, next night on Raw, Charlotte is pissed. She is pissed. And Becky, well, she has every right to do this because it makes more sense that she's more fed up because Becky is the Raw Women's Champion. And she doesn't need to be in the women's tag team division. So it only makes sense for her to nuke what is happening right now, nuke the present, and focus on the future. And the future is with her, Becky, and Seth. And here's what's going to happen. So Seth Rollins said winning the Universal Championship wasn't good enough for you. He said, what do I have to do? Do I have to kill him? And he kill himself? And that's when he challenges Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. It's got to be the Royal Rumble because at WrestleMania something great is gonna happen. So at WrestleMania, Becky and Seth are heel, and Seth challenges Brock, and due to Paul Heyman, he accepts it. Paul accepts it, thinking that Seth's not gonna win. So it's the Royal Rumble. I know this is a little too early, but so it's the Royal Rumble. It's Seth and Brock. And Brock's like having the most advantage of the match. So here's what happened. So yeah, they both go down, they both do a move, and Brock and Seth are down. Paul is screaming at Brock, have him get up. And then AOP come up from ringside, and they hit the last chapter on Paul Heyman, like the full move. Paul Heyman takes the full last chapter. And then Becky throws a chair at Brock, drop kicks him, does like a Van Damme thing. Low blow by Seth. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Brock is defeated, and Seth is now WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I know that Seth beating Brock 3 times doesn't look good in Vincent's eyes, but this is my podcast, so screw him. Also, it's important to know that at this time, Becky is still the Raw Women's Champion, now that Seth is the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. And it's also to know that earlier in the night, the Women's Royal Rumble was won by Charlotte. And the Men's Royal Rumble was won by Kevin Owens. Well, it's starting to get interesting. So next night, Kevin Owens is celebrating his Royal Rumble win, and Seth is like spotting off some stuff. There is no way you are gonna make it to WrestleMania. I will do everything to make sure you don't make it to that night. So then, Seth orders AOP to beat Kevin Owens in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Really build up the fact that Seth is now just a full-grown villain. So it's AOP is battering Seth. He is battering Kevin. AOP is beating Kevin Owens up so bad. Bad. I also forgot to mention that Seth said, if you can beat the AOP, you get to have your WrestleMania moment. But if you don't even bother showing up in Tampa. So, as AOP is about to hit Kevin Owens, Charlotte pulls the ref out and attacks AOP. She puts in a little punches. She does a little kicks. Becky tries to go in there and beat her up, and Charlotte focuses on Becky, and KO just stunners everybody, AOP and Seth. And remember, Charlotte won the Women's Royal Rumble, so she's still guaranteed a championship match, and she chooses Becky. And it has to be Charlotte, because other than her, there's no other credible women on Raw. Who's going to do it? Asuka or Kairi? Natalia? Liv Morgan? It's a sea of outcasts on the Raw Women's Division, and other than Becky and Charlotte, which are the only two notable names. So it has to be her. It has to be Charlotte. So, a few months pass. Becky and Seth defeat their challengers at Elimination Chamber at Fastlane. So Charlotte amps up the ante. Now I know for a fact this is probably not going to happen. I know for a sheer fact this is not going to happen. But on the pay-per-view the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, on the Monday after that pay-per-view, Charlotte says, Seth, Becky, you talk a lot of game. You've been running rampant over Raw. You've taken out everybody. And I'm sick and tired of it. And KO was there with her. And KO says, you have turned Raw into your own personal playground. You have turned Raw into your own personalized kingdom, and you're taking on anybody who doesn't fit your criteria of who deserves to be on Raw. And then that's when KO says, how about this? WrestleMania 36, Tampa Bay, Florida. Charlotte and Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's and WWE Championship. Seth and Becky tries to back out, please, you want us to put our belts on the line against you? Get out of here. And then KO says, why? Are you afraid that this match is gonna last that short like your marriage? Or wait. KO says, are you scared this match is gonna be short like your marriage? And then with that comment, Seth accepts. So, WrestleMania 36. Whoa. WrestleMania 36, Tampa Bay. It's KO and Charlotte versus Seth and Becky for the WWE and Raw Women's Championships. It's a great match. It's a full-grown great match. AOP tries to get involved. But teams like Street Profits and War Raiders and Hawkins and Ryder, basically everybody who Seth and Becky have made their lives miserable up to WrestleMania, they stop whoever Seth and Becky paid off. So, in the closing moments of the match, Seth Rollins tries to go for a stomp, but KO stops him, goes for a stunner, but Becky like kicks him in the gut. Charlotte does that rolling spear she does. Seth tries to go for a super kick. KO counters it, stunner. And then Charlotte and KO go up to the top. Both hit moonsaults, because why not? It's WrestleMania. And they both do their submission moves on both Seth and Becky. Charlotte's got Becky in the figure 4, and Kevin and Owens has got Rollins in a crossface. And they're trying to fight. Becky and Seth are trying to fight out of it. They're trying to fight out of those submission moves, but they can't, and they both tap out. And the winners are Kevin Owens and Charlotte. Charlotte is now an 11-time women's champion, and KO finally gets his first WWE championship win. What an amazing moment. So that's how they should book this current heel character for Seth, because it gives Becky something to do outside of the women's tag team divisions. And it gives Charlotte another possibly better babyface run. And it finally gives KO his long-awaited WWE championship run. And that's how they should book the current heel Seth Rollins run. So what do you guys think? Let me know. And think of what you think should happen instead. Thank you guys for listening.